Teach thy tongue to say, I do not know, and thou shalt learn. This quote by Rabbi Moses ben Maimon, commonly known as Maimonides, perhaps represents the many paradoxes of the man. A rationalist who became a mystical figure, a researcher of the Bible, but also dealt with medicine, science, and philosophy. The Israel Museum and the Israel National Library have recently launched 2 exhibitions about the famous Jewish scholar, also known as the Great Eagle.
There's Maimonides the Jewish legal scholar, there's Maimonides the philosopher, there's Maimonides the doctor, there's Maimonides as the historical figure. Although if I had to say any single thing that was most critical for Maimonides, I would say it's the image of Judaism as a rational religion, as a religion that comes with a knowledge of philosophy, that comes with a knowledge of science, that comes with a openness to the world around. And some of that image has been taken from the 12th century when Maimonides himself lived, really until the 20th and 21st century when Jews look for models for that kind of behavior.
Born in Cordoba, Spain of our time in 1136 CE, Maimonides saw the downfall of the Jewish culture in the Iberian Peninsula. He fled to Morocco, then to the Holy Land and Egypt. Among his famous works are the Mishnah Torah, a code of Jewish law, and the Guide for the Perplexed, a philosophic mass which combines Jewish theology with Aristotelian philosophy.
We have 8 different institutions that we borrowed from, and they're here, some of them for the first time outside their institution, and for sure the first time in Israel. And among them we have autographs, manuscripts that were produced in this time. We have 1 manuscript copy of the Mishneh Torah with Maimonides' signature.
Another part of the exhibition showcases selective chapters in Maimonides' life, using 3D models made by animation artists. One of them focuses on the opposition to Maimonides by other Jewish scholars.
1233, 1234, in Ashkenaz, there was an event called the Burning of the Books, and this was a culmination or a peak, a very extreme peak of opposition to his books, especially against the books, the Guide of the Perplexed and the Book of Knowledge, Sefer Hamada, which is the first book in Mishneh Torah, where he deals with the necessity, in his eyes, to combine general studies, the highest levels of philosophy, in order to understand the sublime divinity. So this is something that was not really, in certain circles it was accepted very much so, and in others it was not.
Not too far from the Israel Museum, at the National Library, another exhibition also displays selective items of Maimonides. This exhibit focuses on the modern interpretation of this iconic figure.
We have a number of books of folk stories, Yiddish book of folk stories with its roots in the Middle Ages, but which was printed in the 17th century, folk stories about Maimonides. Even an amulet, a magical amulet with an image, the famous image of Maimonides on it, even though Maimonides the rationalist was opposed in principle to the use of those kinds of amulets.
A famous saying, "From Moses to Moses, there were none like Moses," links Maimonides to Moses, the greatest prophet of the Bible. The great attention these 2 exhibits gained, and not only in the Jewish world, are perhaps proof that more than 800 years after his death, Maimonides continues to inspire people inside and outside the Holy Land.